Interesting, this was actually better than what I recorded on Windows 11 IoT. A few years ago, many people believed that old laptops were simply too slow for modern operating systems. But what if that's no longer true? FydeOS promises fast boot time, Android support, a Linux environment, and smooth performance even on older devices. At the first glance, sounds impressive, I'm not gonna lie, but how much of that is actually true? To find out, I actually installed FydeOS on this Lenovo ThinkPad X240 laptop with Intel Core i5 4th generation Intel CPU, which by the way officially doesn't support Windows 11, no longer receiving security updates on Windows 10, only 4GB of DDR3L memory and SATA SSD. In this video, I will test boot time, YouTube playback, Android apps, Linux software, multitasking performance, and see whether FydeOS is a good choice for older laptops in 2026. Or maybe it's just overrated copy of ChromeOS Flex, but with Google Play Store. So let's find out, but first I want to thank today's sponsors. Remotely is a remote desktop application that lets you access your PC from anywhere using your phone, tablet, or another computer. I tested it on my gaming PC and OnePlus 11, and I was able to connect remotely, launch applications, and even play Cuphead directly from my phone using custom touch controls. During my testing, the connection felt responsive and the latency was low enough for remote desktop use and even for some casual gaming. One feature I like is that Remotely offers a free version with no time limits, making it easy to try before deciding if it fits your needs. If you would like to test it yourself, you can download Remotely for free using the link in the description below. To download FydeOS, open your browser, search for FydeOS and visit the official website. The developers describe it as a lightweight operating system designed for a wide variety of devices. They also claim it can boot in as little as 8 seconds, which is something I will test later in this video on my ThinkPad X240. Looking at FydeOS official comparison page, some of the claims appear reasonable while others seem more like marketing statements. For example, FydeOS is likely to feel faster and lighter than Windows on older hardware because it has fewer background processes and lower system requirements. However, claims such as Windows frequently crashes or Windows is vulnerable to attacks feel somewhat exaggerated. Modern versions of Windows are generally stable on supported hardware and receive regular security updates. The comparison with ChromeOS is more nuanced. Since ChromeOS already supports Android apps, the Google Play Store and Linux applications on many Chromebooks, the differences are not as dramatic as the comparison charts may suggest. Instead, FydeOS' main advantage is that it brings a ChromeOS-like experience to a much wider range of hardware, including older PCs and laptops that were never designed to run ChromeOS. When it comes to privacy and security, the situation is less straightforward. FydeOS is based on Chromium technologies, but it is not fully open source operating system. Because of that, users ultimately need to decide how much trust they place in the company behind the project. Based on the information available publicly, I have not found evidence suggesting that FydeOS is unsafe. At the same time, I have not found independent security audits that will completely eliminate concerns either. So rather than taking these comparison charts at face value, it's probably best to treat them as starting point and evaluate the operating system based on the real-world testing. To download FydeOS, head over to the download section and choose FydeOS for PC. FydeOS offers several builds depending on your hardware, including versions for modern Intel systems, older Intel PCs, and AMD graphics. This makes it easier to find the most compatible image for your device. Next, we need to create a bootable USB drive. For this, I will be using Balena Etcher, which is the utility officially recommended by the FydeOS team. You'll also need a USB flash drive with at least 8 GB of storage, and keep in mind that all data on the drive will be erased during the process. One thing worth mentioning is that FydeOS is not distributed as a traditional ISO image. Instead, it is provided as a compressed image file. In my case, because I'm installing an older FydeOS build designed for legacy Intel hardware, I had to manually extract the downloaded archive before flashing it to the USB drive. When I tried to write the archive directly, Balena Etcher returned an error before completing the process, so keep in mind if you're installing the older version, you need to unzip the archive first. Once the USB drive has been created, connect it to the laptop or PC where you want to install FydeOS. Before booting from the USB drive, you'll need to enter the BIOS or UEFI settings. Depending on your device, this is usually done by pressing keys such as F1, F2, F10 or delete key during startup. For the best compatibility, I recommend disabling Secure Boot. I also enable UEFI boot mode, which is recommended for modern operating systems. After saving the changes and restarting the computer, press F12 to open the boot menu. From there, simply select the USB drive containing FydeOS and continue with the installation process. After booting from the USB drive, you will first be asked to select your language and keyboard layout. At this stage, I ran into a strange issue where I couldn't click any buttons or even press the OK button. Fortunately, pressing the escape key immediately fixed the problem and the installer started responding normally. This appears to be a minor bug and I haven't experienced it in the previous versions of FydeOS. Once the setup wizard appears, select Install FydeOS and continue through the installation process. Next, choose full disk installation if you want FydeOS to completely replace the existing operating system on your drive. Keep in mind that this option will erase all data stored on the selected disk. After selecting the target drive, click Install and wait for the process to finish. On my ThinkPad X240, the installation only took a few minutes. When the installation is complete, shut down the computer, remove the USB drive, and power the system back on. FydeOS should then boot directly from the internal drive. After booting from the SSD drive for the first time, encountered the same strange bug again. The interface became unresponsive and I couldn't click on the OK button or interface with any of the setup options. Fortunately, pressing the escape key immediately fixed the issue and allowed me to continue. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very strange bug and I saw it twice. Once that was resolved, the rest of the setup process was straightforward. First, I selected my language and keyboard layout, then connected the laptop to the Wi-Fi network. Next, FydeOS asked me to review and accept the terms of service and privacy policy. After that, the system offered several sign-in options, including FydeOS account and Google account. In my case, I chose to use a local account which can be selected using the Use Local Account button located at the bottom of the screen. After completing these steps, FydeOS finished the initial setup and loaded directly into the desktop environment ready for testing. One of the claims made by developers is fast boot time, so I decided to test it on my ThinkPad X240. Using a stopwatch, the system took approximately 12 seconds to reach the login screen. That's not quite the 8 seconds advertised on the website, but considering this is an older laptop with the 4th generation Intel processor, the result is still very impressive. Before moving on to Android and Linux application, I also want to mention a few things I noticed during everyday use. The good news is that most hardware worked correctly out of the box. Display drivers, audio, and touchpad were detected automatically, and two-finger scrolling worked without any issues. However, I wasn't a fan of the right-click implementation. Let me explain. Unlike Windows, the physical right side of the touchpad wasn't active as dedicated right mouse button. Instead, I had to use two-finger tap or configure shortcuts such as search plus click or alt plus click in the settings. It's not a major problem, but it's definitely felt less intuitive than traditional right-click experience. I also noticed some unusual behavior with the functional keys. Brightness and volume control worked, but not through those keys that were originally labeled for those functions on my laptop. Instead, FydeOS mapped these actions to different keys. This isn't a deal breaker, but it suggests that FydeOS relies on more generic keyboard mapping rather than being fully optimized for every laptop model. FydeOS also includes a built-in diagnostic tool that can monitor system activities and run CPU and memory stress tests. I tested both and they completed successfully without any issues. The only thing that seemed inaccurate was the temperature monitoring. During the CPU stress test, the system reported temperatures of only around 22 to 24 degrees Celsius, which is clearly unrealistic low for a laptop under full load. So the stress test worked as expected, but the temperature reading should probably be taken with a grain of salt. Next, I wanted to see how well FydeOS handles video playback. For this test, I opened the official 9 Souls trailer on YouTube and selected 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second. I also enabled Stats for Nerds to monitor dropped frames during playback. I should mention that the first time I tried to play the video, it refused to start. It is possible this was related to my capture setup, but for the sake of fairness, I didn't experience this issue on either Windows 11 IoT LTSC or ChromeOS Flex during previous tests. After a quick reboot, the system played normally at 1080p 60 frames. According to Stats for Nerds, only 16 frames were dropped out of roughly 4,600 rendered frames, and all of those drops occurred right at the beginning of the playback. Once the video was running, I didn't observe any additional dropped frames, which is an excellent result for a laptop of this age. Interesting, this was actually better than what I recorded on Windows 11 IoT, where the same test resulted in more than 500 dropped frames over a similar number of rendered frames. Next, I installed the Linux development environment. The process was very straightforward and I allocated 20 GB of storage so I could test a few Linux applications later. The installation only took a few minutes and required almost no configuration. We will come back to Linux software testing shortly, but first I wanted to enable Android support and the Google Play Store to see how easy it is to run Android apps and games on FydeOS. Next, I tried to enable Google Play Store support just like I had done on the older version of FydeOS more than a year ago. The first step went exactly as expected. I launched the Android subsystem, opened the FydeOS App Store, and installed the Configure GApps utility. After accepting the required prompts, the installation process appeared ready to begin. Unfortunately, that's where I ran into my first problem. Instead of installing Google services, FydeOS displayed an error saying that rootf's verification was enabled, which prevents GApps from being activated. Fortunately, the fix was not particularly difficult, but it was definitely more complicated than it used to be. This time, I had to open the FydeOS settings, enable developer mode, confirm the warning message, and reboot the system. After the restart, I opened the terminal and followed the official FydeOS instructions to disable rootf's verification, which is the security feature preventing GApps from being installed. In my humble opinion, this adds quite a few extra steps, and new users may find the process confusing, especially if they have never used a Linux terminal before. Once rootf's verification was disabled, I launched the GApps installer again, selected the installation option, confirmed the prompts, and waited for the required files to download. After another reboot, Google Play Store finally became available. I then signed in with my Google account. This step is required because without a Google account, you won't be able to install applications from the Play Store, so keep that in mind. With everything configured correctly, Android applications were now ready to run inside FydeOS. To test Android app compatibility, I first installed Telegram from the Play Store. The application installed without any issues and launched successfully. I was able to access my previous conversations, browse chats, and even send messages normally. However, things became less reliable when I tried to play videos inside Telegram. Some videos would not play properly, and eventually the application displayed an error message. Based on my testing, messaging applications are generally usable on FydeOS, but media playback can still be hit or miss. I also tested several Android games, many popular titles installed successfully, and supported keyboard control through FydeOS key mapping. However, support is not universal. For example, I was unable to get Subway Surfs working properly with keyboard control despite several attempts. One of the strangest issues I encountered involved game controllers. Neither my wired nor wireless gamepad worked correctly even though FydeOS detected the USB devices. To be fair, there may be workarounds available, but I didn't want to spend hours troubleshooting controller support. From a regular user's perspective, this is kind of issue that can quickly become frustrating. While Android apps and games do work, some features still require extra tweaking and patience before everything functions as expected. I also tested the Linux environment available in FydeOS. After enabling Linux support, I installed all available updates and then proceed to install Kdenlive, a popular open-source video editing application. The first thing I noticed was that the update process took quite a long time to complete. Once Kdenlive was installed, the experience was disappointing. The application took a long time to launch, frequently became unresponsive, and crashed several times during testing. I wasn't even able to import video files into the timeline reliably, which made the software practically unusable for any real editing work. Based on my experience, Linux applications on FydeOS currently feel quite slow and unstable. Simple utilities may still work fine, but heavier desktop software can quickly expose the platform's limitations. If your primary goal is web browsing, media consumption, or running Android applications, this may not be a major issue. However, I would not recommend FydeOS as a serious Linux workstation based on my testing. To evaluate multitasking performance, I opened multiple browser tabs, started a YouTube video, launched Telegram, ran several Android applications and games, and finally attempted to run Kdenlive in the background. To be honest, after some of the issues I encountered earlier, I expected the system to struggle quite quickly. Surprisingly, that wasn't the case. Web browsing remained smooth. Scrolling through websites felt responsive, switching between applications was quick, and I didn't notice any major stutters or freezes during the test. Even the Android games continued to run without obvious performance problems. It seems that FydeOS does a good job of prioritizing resources and allocating CPU power where it's needed most, which helps maintain a responsive user experience even on an older hardware. Memory usage, however, was quite high. During testing, the system consumed almost all available RAM, leaving only around 0.5 GB free out of the 4 GB installed. As for Kdenlive, it still wasn't usable during the stress test, but to be fair, it wasn't stable even when running on its own. Overall, I will rate FydeOS positively when it comes to multitasking. Considering this was an older laptop powered by an Intel Core i5-4300U CPU, 4GB of DDR3L memory, and a SATA SSD, the results were better than I expected. My final thoughts: I'm not gonna lie, FydeOS impressed me more than I expected. Android applications, web browsing, YouTube playback, even multitasking, everything worked perfectly good on this Lenovo ThinkPad X240 laptop. However, let's be honest to ourselves, Linux applications were unstable and doesn't work properly. And some features such as gamepad support or Google Play setup require some additional effort. For users looking for a lightweight operating system, focus on web apps and Android software, FydeOS is definitely worth considering. For heavier Linux applications, I will still consider some lightweight operating system. For example, just use Linux, any distribution, Linux Mint, Zorin OS if you have an older devices. If this video was helpful, please like it. Also, I recommend watching this video about Zorin OS, which is a great Windows alternative for older devices.